Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Zvezda, and this is a kit which is molded in 144 scale, and that's quite an interesting sizing because as you can see here we have the rocket, and it's a launch vehicle with a manned Vostok spacecraft, so in 144 it should be quite large I expect, but I'm already seeing here on the side it's written that the length of the model will be 26 and 6, so not that huge, and of course what you see here on the table, it was purchased with help of your donation. Some of you were asking to check it closer, and here it is. So you can get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review, nothing will change. And first of all, the box size is not that big, so here is comparison with my hand. We have really beautiful box art here. Then on the side here you'll find some information about the kit, so exactly as I said, 26.6 centimeters long, and we also have 107 parts inside, and also the small ad for the other kit. I think I did not review this one, but I reviewed some of those ones I think, so, but 2144 kinda missed me, so I guess it's something what will come a bit later. Here on the opposite side you can see also the history note and the photo of the assembled model, and again the reminder how many parts are inside. So I just need to cut through the plastic bag and actually through the plastic seal here first, and then we will open the box. So just give me a moment. And in the meantime, I can remind you that you can review some other 144 scale kits on my YouTube channel as well. Some of them are quite surprising in terms of the features included out of the box, especially considering their size, of course. So as you can see, everything is packed into this kind of box, so that's why it should be protected. And here's what we have inside. So all frames, they are sealed into 2 plastic bags, and I will need scissors in order to open it, so just give me a second. But I can see that here, for example, we have the engines molded on the same type of sprue. I was just shaking because I thought that I heard some loose parts, but it looks like no, everything is intact. And there was plenty of space in the box, so that's why it arrived more or less in a proper condition. So, what do we have here is 4 plastic sprues. I'll show you only one, because they are absolutely the same and they should be assembled around the body of the rocket. And here I will open the lenses maybe a bit so that you can see what we will be talking about. So these two halves should be combined together. We have quite nice panel lines, but try not to overdo the layers of the primer and paint, because then it will be easy to lose this. And I can see that we also get some separate parts as well here, for example these thrusters, and it's also interesting to check if we have, we do guiding elements inside. So I think this is quite important for such large parts. Here is comparison with my hand, for example, here. So it's quite a large portion of the rocket, so if you assemble it with some errors or with some damage, it will be noticeable on the finished model. That's why I think it's a good idea to have some positioning elements as well, and of course it will give you the right alignment without any time waste, and I think that's really good. So what I'm doing right now is opening the second plastic bag, and here we have a slightly bigger plastic sprues. But nevertheless, they are also interesting, so let's move this one aside. And first of all, we have I would call it a fuselage of the rocket. So as you can see here, we have the 2 halves which should be joined together. And we also have the special stand. So for the stand, it's really nice surprise here, because it will help you to show the assembled model in a more or less interesting position, because it will be vertical. And also here you can see again we have good panel lines. Maybe I can zoom in so that you can see what we are talking about here. So it's just a matter of painting all of this stuff properly, maybe also doing some careful masking. But it might be also a good idea to check some references, maybe some pictures of the actual spacecraft, so that you can understand how you can properly paint it, and maybe some weathering as well. And here inside again we have some guiding elements as well. So for the stand, as you can see, it's a one-piece thing, but maybe it's a good idea to try to paint it into some different shade, not to leave it in the gray plastic color. But this is already your decision, because I think even the gray plastic color will be completely fine. It will not be, let's say, catching the attention on itself. And as you remember, we also have the separate Vostok spacecraft. So here it is. So it even has its own model stand. So this is really cool because you can assemble them together, and it will be quite a nice display of both aircraft or spacecraft, and I think there are a lot of features promoted. Let's not forget that this is a 1/44 scale kit, so that's why we have plenty of things coming out of the box in the standard plastic. It's just a matter of painting them properly, and I think here it's not the brushing, I would say it's airbrushing required, so you'll have to do some masking. And now you can take a look from the opposite side as well. Again, plenty of the guiding pins, so you won't be left with some, let's say, dangerous design. Next, we also have quite simple decals sheet. So as you can see here, we have the writings which will be placed on the rocket, and we also have the marking guide. This one is printed in color, and I think it might be also good poster, if I can say it this way. Just frame it, and it will be a really nice thing to put on the wall, especially if you like such stuff. So as you can see here, we have the paint designations in Zvezda and Tamiya numbers, so you will be able to understand how to paint it properly. And it might be interesting to see how to paint this window. So just give me a second, I just need to see, because they recommend to cover it with the silver, so it will be quite a process to do. But that's not all. We have also the assembly manual. This one, of course, is printed in black and white. I think this is already a tradition for Zvezda, so no surprises here. And I'm more or less okay as long as we have the marking guide in color. So here we have the short history note, and next we continue with the assembly manual instructions. So here we have the parts map, and assembly process starts with an engine. And as you can see, we have also some designations that arrows mean. They also show you what should be installed with the glue and what should be installed without the glue. So here we start with the rocket itself, and as you can see, there are a lot of things actually to assemble together. And then we continue with some final steps here, and then you also have the Vostok spacecraft, which is a bit simpler, but I guess the paint work will be a bit more complicated because of the size. I think it should be something like this, so it will take some precision work, but I think the final result should be worth it. And as for the whole kit, again, I'm glad that we get here the model stand. We also get plenty of features, and not only the rocket itself, but we also get the spacecraft. And both assembled and painted and displayed together, I think it's a really cool project. And maybe even if you are a huge fan of the space programs, so this launch vehicle, it has a quite significant role in the overall space development, so I think it will be a nice addition to your collection. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so what do you think about such release? Write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.